Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're so glad to be joining you this evening. Another week has come and gone. It's been difficult. Schools have been starting, but we all know that at the end of a long and difficult week that we have the beauty of this virtual community to welcome in Shabbat with. And we welcome in Shabbat like a bride with the words from the Song of Songs, Dodi Li.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you, Cantor Peicott. That was so beautiful. And the translation of Dodi Li is, I am my beloved and my beloved is mine. And yes, we do have the love song between the Jewish people and Israel on Shabbat, the Jewish people and God on Shabbat. But also, this is the first day of the month of Elul, which is considered a month of love. It's the month right before the 30 days before Rosh Hashanah, 40 days before Yom Kippur. And the acronym for Elul is Ani L'Dodi V'Dodi Li. I am my beloved and my beloved is mine. And it's to remind us of the love between God and the Jewish people, and also to suggest that we renew or repair any love in our own life that might need some tending to. And so we're going to ask you a question this week that I would love you to type in, and then we'll answer it. We'll read your answers in a little while, which is, where did you find love this week in your life? Where did you find love? We've been, having some dark, difficult times. Where did you find love? And while you're thinking about that, I would like to invite our two B'nai Mitzvah families to join us for candles and Kiddush and Motzi. So I'd like to invite the Goldman and the Gimple. Shabbat Shalom. Wow, look at this. This is fantastic.
The whole family, the whole mishpucha.
So first, Adam Goldman, Mazel Tov on your bar mitzvah. Shabbat Shalom to your family and your parents, Susan and Aaron, and your brother Henry. And the Gimble family is quite large. I want to wish Mazel Tov to Jonah. And I know Stephanie and Jeff are there. And this is your 15th wedding anniversary. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is this all your family?
Can you hear?
Yeah. Well, no. We have a few nieces and nephews.
I was going to say you've been pretty busy in 15 years. So hi, Mazel Tov to the whole family.
Thank
And
you.
We've got more grandparents, Rabbi. They're coming.
Oh, Mazel Tov, this is fantastic. Congratulations. As I was hearing earlier, I teach adult B'nai Mitzvah, and the parents or the adults who finally study say, wow, I have a lot more respect for my kids now. I didn't realize how hard it is. So congratulations to both of you. And now I'm going to turn this over to Cantor Peicott to lead us in all the blessings.
We're going to join in officially beginning Shabbat together with the lighting of our Shabbat candles. If I can get my lighter to work, it worked. So for those of you lighting at home, we're going to bring in the light of Shabbat 3 times, once for ourselves, once for our friends and families, and then once for peace in the whole world. We'll join together in the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're going to join in saying our Kiddush together. So if you have your wine glasses, please join me from home. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zeichel yitziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchatanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat l'chaim.
Chaim.
All of it?
And last but not least, we'll
Yes,
join
now,
together.
drink.
Oh, go ahead. Yes. And last but not least, we'll join together in our motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Yes.
Te'avon, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom to Jonah and his family and Adam and his family. We're so excited to celebrate with you tomorrow morning and tomorrow in the afternoon. But for now, Mazal Tov from the Wilshire Boulevard Temple clergy and all of our Wilshire Boulevard Temple community. Mazal Tov.
Mazal Tov.
We're going to continue welcoming in Shabbat with the words of Shalom Aleichem. We invite the angels to come and bless our homes this Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem LeShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech, Malachei
So thank you so much, Cantor. So I'm going to start with you. Where did you find love this week?
That's an easy one. So this week I celebrated my birthday on Wednesday. And, you know, for the last couple of birthdays, the thing that had been missing from my life was my little baby. And when I woke up very early on the morning of my birthday, much earlier than I've ever woken up on any other birthday, just to be able to walk into his nursery and to see his little face. And of course he looked at me and said, Dada, but that's okay. But that just filled me with the love that I needed to just kind of get through the rest of the week and to make it towards Shabbat. What about you?
Well, of course, you know, my daughter, who is the light of my life, and she comes over every weekend and we spend time together. But there's another source that's I really need to mention, which is that Elliot Mann, who is the caterer of Cornucopia, after he stopped catering for the temple, he opened a sort of a private Shabbat dinner business where he delivers Shabbat dinners. He orders them to people's homes. And every week for the last 2 months on Friday afternoon, including today, Elliot personally comes to my house as a gift, brings me Shabbat dinner every single week. And I live alone. So this is so meaningful. It has challah, dessert, chicken, vegetables, salad. I mean, he brings me Shabbat dinner every week, which is a beautiful sign of love. And it really lifts me every Friday when I keep saying, you don't have to keep doing it. And he says, no, it's my pleasure. So the mitzvah really uplifts the two of us. I'm going to read some of the answers from people. So let me see, because we have a lot of them. So Phyllis said, with my husband and my cat. And I understand that because my daughter has 2 cats and they keep her saying she loves her cats. And Judith says, from my husband always being there. And surprise, our neighborhood has a woman who I guess has flowers for a lot of us and a smile. So that is so beautiful. And let's see if anybody else answered. Just a lot of Shabbat shaloms to everyone from so many people. Oh, and David Eshel, Rabbi Eshel says, we've had his dinners and they are yummy. So he's talking about, you know, that as well. So I hope wherever you are finding love, it is fulfilling you this week. And we're going to continue with our beautiful song of love, Lecha Dodi, the song of the wedding song of Shabbat.
Shamor v'zachor בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמונה עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, יאי לי לי, יאללה לי לי לך דודי, יאללה לי לי לקראת כלה, יאללה לי לי פני שבת, פני שבת
So we have another additional answer from Rabbi Eshel, Mazel Tov. He says, I found love in my house. It's our 15th wedding anniversary tonight. So Mazel Tov to Rabbi Eshel. That's so beautiful. Now that we've finished our Kabbalat Shabbat portion of the service, we take a turn to the actual evening service, beginning with our call to prayer, the Baruch Hu.
If you're able to from home, I invite you to rise. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Baruchu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach, hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Hamevorach, hamevorach le'olam va'ed. We're going to take a moment as we prepare to recite the watchword of our people, the Shema. I invite you to close your eyes and to still your body. Try to still your mind, as difficult as it can be. And we're going to take a nice, deep, nourishing breath and join together in the words of the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. We join together in the words of the Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha veshinantam levanecha vedibarta bam beshivtecha beveitecha ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי Vitem kadoshim leElohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem leElohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet.
So I just want to comment on all the chat that's going on. We can't be together at the synagogue right now, but it's so great how everybody is wishing each other Shabbat Shalom to us and to each other, saying Mazel Tov to Rabbi Eshel. And so it's the closest we have to being together, but I'm so happy to see all the communication. And I want to ask you all a second question now that you can think about and answer in a little bit later in our service. Where do you get your strength? Where do you find your strength? Especially right now, where do you find strength? So I want you to think about that as we transition to this song of gratitude for the strength of God and the Jewish people at the shores of the sea with the Mi Chamocha.
Rabbi Nanus, looking at those pictures of the water, you know, because we spoke earlier, but the air conditioning in my house broke, and I live in the valley, and it's very hot in my house right now. But I think that those images of the ocean and the cool ocean breeze, I think that gave me the strength to get through until tomorrow when the repairman will be here. So thank you for that.
Yes, I agree. It does feel very cooling when you're watching that. It makes us want to run over and walk by the ocean shore, for sure. The Hashkivenu is one of my favorite prayers in the service because it asks God to watch over us and spread like a sukkah of peace over us so that we lie down in peace and rise up in peace. And a lot of us are having a lot of emotional turmoil right now. And this prayer really expresses our need for some calm, for some peace. And then there's a beautiful piece in the Siddur that kind of translates it into contemporary terms. And I know we don't usually read from our Siddur, but I really just want to read this little piece because I feel like it's so relevant to us. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. The Hashkivenu.
Beautiful. If you're at home with your family, feel free to put your arms around your loved ones. And if you are all by yourself, know that our arms are virtually wrapped around you as your own personal shelter through the storm. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu
This next prayer has many names. We usually call it the Amidah, which means standing, the standing prayer. But it's also called the Avot V'Imahot, which means the prayer because we mention our mothers and fathers. So the prayer of our mothers and fathers. When I was growing up, they called it the Shmona Esrei, which means the 18, because there were 18 prayers, not on Shabbat, but during the week, 18 prayers. But the main name that we don't usually use is Tefillah, the prayer. This is the most important prayer in the whole service, because this is the prayer where we're supposed to open up our hearts and really ask God for what we need, to speak it out loud. We were talking about this in Torah study, how when you pray out loud, it's a different experience than when you read the words or you pray silently. So we're going to do the first part of the Amidah with the cantor singing, the first part of the tefillah, but then in the silent prayer moment, I'm going to ask you actually at home to speak out loud your prayer. Ask God out loud what you need for this week. We start with the Avot V'Imahot, the prayers of our mothers and fathers.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chazdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magin Avraham Bezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav LeHoshia Marid Hatal Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Ba'al Geburot Umidom Elach Melech Meimit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye hakol.
We're now going to take a moment. We're now going to take a moment for you to speak out loud in your home your prayer for this week.
As we mentioned before, we just started the month of Elul, which leads us to the High Holy Days, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And once it becomes Elul, we're supposed to add a psalm to our liturgy, Psalm 27. And this piece that I would like to sing for you, to chant for you, is called Achat Sha'alti. And the translation is a plea that during this time that all we ask for is that we can dwell in God's presence forevermore. And I think that what this psalm and what the psalmists are trying to say is that during this month of Elul, when we're supposed to do the challenging, deep reflective, and incredibly hard job of accounting for our souls and accounting for our sins so that we can start our next year in that divine place, in that place of holiness, emulating those 13 attributes of God, of compassion, of light, of understanding. And so we add Achat Sha'alti to our prayers each and every day as a reminder that during this time that our goal is to make it so that we can dwell in that light, in that holiness, in the new year to come. Achat Sha'alti. Achat Sha'alti me'et Adonai ota vakesh. Achat Sha'alti me'et Adonai ota vakesh. Shifti b'veit Adonai kol yemei chayai. Lachazot benoam Adonai ulevaker beheichalo. Lachazot benoam Adonai ulevaker beheichalo. One thing I ask of you, I earnestly pray for. One thing I ask of you, I earnestly pray for, that I might dwell in your house all the days of my life, knowing the beauty of you, and to dwell in your holy place, knowing the beauty of you, and to dwell in thy holy space.
Thank you. That's so beautiful, as usual. I just want to share before we continue a few more comments. So Charlie Jasper, who is the husband of Jessica Reisenberg, who's our assistant to the Cantor, says, "Good Shabbos. I found love on Thursday, our 3rd anniversary this week. I've been finding strength in my Nespresso machine." And then Rabbi Joel Nickerson said, "Amen to Nespresso." So yeah, wherever we get our strength, and that's so far the only answers of strength. Where do you get your strength from, Cantor?
This week in the Valley, I got my strength from my air conditioner, but I get my strength from my family. Whenever during this time it's become too much or overwhelming between my husband and my parents and our extended family that I get to talk to, that I have a moment where I can talk to them either in person or on the phone, and it fills me up. It fills my cup up, not with Nespresso, but with the strength that I need to just overcome any obstacle that comes my way. What about you?
Well, yes, I get strength from my family there. None of them are in town except my daughter, so it's all, virtual. But I also get a lot of strength from our congregants, from my teaching, and from the beautiful emails I get from people or calls, or just to know that what we're doing, all as clergy, is affecting people, and their gratitude for that just gives me the strength to continue even when we're tired, when we're working really hard. I feel like what I'm doing is worthwhile. And I'm at an age where most of my friends are not working anymore, and I am so strengthened and just uplifted by what I'm doing. And here, Shabbat Shalom. I'm late, but so glad I got here. I look forward to this all week. I get a lot of strength from being a dancer. My classes, teachers, and fellow dancers, even on Zoom, make it all worthwhile. This is from Lisa Beth Harris. Thank you. That's beautiful. Maybe we can see your dancing sometime. So now we are going to give strength to others by saying a prayer of healing for them, the Misha Berach prayer. It's time for us to now give our strength through blessings of people who need healing, physical healing, spiritual healing, emotional healing. And so if are there any names that you would like us to mention, please write them right now. And if you have any names, I have a name. I'd like to say Marlene Barrow, sending her strength for healing. Anybody else have any names? Please write them now, or you can write them after and I'll mention them as we transition to the Misha Berach.
Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Bisheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Amen. So Lynn Weissman gets her strength from knowing that she's not alone ever. Judith Hilton Factor says, I'm trying to get my strength from talking and helping my friends feel better. And it comes back to me. Lisa says, I get strength from Wilshire Boulevard Temple. Okay. Misha Berach to Muriel Blankfort. Yes, Muriel. Misha Berach to Nadia Furman, who has breast cancer, and Harlem Lee. They can't feel they don't know what's wrong, but they're hoping. They're both dear friends. Misha Berach, for my husband, Keith, we have to travel 35 hours. We are moving back east. He is a heart patient and barely any energy. So we give a Misha Berach to him. Sarah Jacobson, Sue Robertson. And that's as many as I have right now. If you add them later, we will mention them. So now I want to talk a little bit about Elul. The Cantor started to talk about it. So Elul is this very special month. It's the month where we start to do a cheshbon hanefesh, an accounting of our souls, take a look at our lives. It's so amazing in Judaism that we are afforded this opportunity every year to really do some introspection and make repairs, make changes, improve, start over. And there are some very interesting customs or traditions on Elul. So first of all, every morning, if you were doing a morning service, we blow the shofar, not just on Rosh Hashanah, but we're blowing the shofar every single morning of Elul. And it's to awaken us, to jolt us into this holy time and to make us start to think about our lives. Maimonides, the great rabbi and commentator of the 12th century, said that this is an alarm. Wake up, you sleepers, and take a look at your life and make changes. So we blow the shofar. We say these special prayers. Now, most of you know there's slichot on the Saturday night before Rosh Hashanah, but traditionally on Elul, we say the slichot prayers. We say some of these prayers of forgiveness every single day of Elul. Slichot comes from the word slicha, which means I ask your forgiveness, pardon me, excuse me, please. So we say slichot prayers. This is a tradition that most people don't know about, but it's the time to go to the cemetery. During the month of Elul, you visit the graves of your loved ones, and we do this to remind us of the people that we stand, on whose shoulders we stand, who came before us, who taught us, who guided us, who loved us, and to make a promise to them, to their souls, that we are going to live up to their expectations. We're going to honor their lives by living righteous lives of justice ourselves. So it adds deeper meaning. You go to the cemetery. We also, as the cantor was singing, read Psalm 27 not just for the end where it says, may I dwell in the house of the Lord, but the first line says, Adonai uri ugoali, God is my light and my salvation. Why should I fear? And the light is considered Rosh Hashanah, and the salvation is Yom Kippur. So the rabbi says this psalm is actually about the High Holy Days. And finally, we reflect on our lives. We think about ourselves, and we ask forgiveness, and we do teshuvah. We repent, we repair, we reflect, we make amends. And of course, in Judaism, I always teach this, the rabbis don't leave it up to us. They say, okay, do teshuvah, and whatever that means to you. Not in Judaism, we say, you want to do teshuvah, this is how you do it. So there are 4 steps to repentance or repair, as we want to call it, and return. It also means return to our best selves, to the people we are meant to be. So I wanted to share with you the 4 steps to teshuvah according to the Talmud. So the first step is called harata, which means regret. So the first thing you have to do is recognize and feel bad about your behavior. You have to acknowledge, to yourself. It starts with you. Wow, I really feel bad that I did that. A lot of us know things that are weighing on us. You're in a fight with someone, you've hurt someone's feelings, you've done something dishonest, even if no one has caught you, you know it. Your first step is to have regret. The second step is called azivah, which means abandonment or leaving it, which means stopping it. You stop it immediately. You regret the behavior, you stop it. So that's the second step. You have to stop the behavior. The third step is called vidui. We know that word. It means confession. It means you have to go to the person that you have wronged and apologize and ask forgiveness. Sincere forgiveness, saying, I know I did this, you acknowledge it, I stopped doing it, and I hope you will forgive me. And if you ask forgiveness 3 times with true sincerity, the person you're asking must forgive you. And that goes for you. If someone comes to you, you cannot hold a grudge if they're sincerely sorry and repentant. And finally, Kabbalat, it's called, which means resolve. You resolve to never do it again. So you recognize it, you stop it, you confess it, and you resolve to never do it again. When you've done these 4 steps, you have practiced true teshuvah according to the rabbis. And you cannot forgive somebody for something they did to someone else. You can't forgive someone else, only someone who has wronged you, and then you can ask forgiveness for someone you have wronged. So it's very specific. We have to do the work ourselves. So I hope in this month of Elul, we will take the time to reflect, take the time to repair our relationships, to bring the love into our lives so that when Rosh Hashanah comes, we feel light and happy and ready to start the new year.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So before we conclude our service, we just have one announcement this week, which is the last, I'm very sad about this, our last film in our African American film series. This Tuesday night at 7:00. It's Good Trouble. It's the story of John Lewis. You maybe saw a little ad about it earlier. It does cost $6 or $6.99 on Amazon, but it's well worth watching. And we're going to be discussing that. And we've had some amazing discussions about these films. And I urge you, even if you haven't gone to the other ones, to try to watch this one and join us. You have to watch it first. So I just want to
have one quick announcement, if I can jump in
please.
there. Tomorrow evening for Havdalah, for the month of Elul, there's going to be, of course, our regular Havdalah service, but it's going to be a little something special as I've gathered some of the Cantors in Los Angeles to help bring Shabbat to a close. And then in honor of the beginning of the month of Elul, we've prepared a virtual Elul concert to help get our spirits and our minds and our hearts in the mood and in the spirit of the High Holy Days. So I hope you'll join us tomorrow on Facebook and also on the temple webpage, 7:30 p.m.
And tell us who the great singers are besides yourself.
Oh, thank you. It's going to be Cantor Emma Lutz, who's one of the cantors at Stephen Wise Temple, Cantor Lizzie Weiss from Temple Emmanuel of Beverly Hills, and a Wilshire Boulevard Bait, Cantor Jackie Raffi from Shomrei Torah Synagogue. So I hope you can join us all.
It's going to be beautiful. Anytime you hear these women sing, you're transported to the upper realms, as I say. So don't miss it. And so we're going to conclude our service with moments of Kaddish as we take time to remember those who are no longer with us.
We begin with those who've passed away during Shloshim, the past 30 days. Morris Bradman, Miriam Connor, Bernard Gottlieb, Jerry Gottlieb, Natalie Janger, Solomon Kugler, Ava Liadowicz, Evan Mackey, Fran Newberg, Jerry Newberg, Jenny Pacholski, Thomas Philip Pollock, Ruth Shapira. We also remember those whose anniversaries of their death, their yortzites, are this week. Milton Abrams, David Anker, Aaron Arnold, Irving Barshap, Irving Bassman, Henry Baum, Charles Bendit, Nesta Berger, William Bernstein, Norton Bienenfeld, Irene Black, Sherwin Bossy, Marjorie Boville, Henry Brandler, Jacob Brody, Lee Burns, Henriette Darlene, Charles Denkert, Hyman Edelman, Irving Eigler, Norman Fields, Ben Frankel, Irving Friedman, Mig Freudenthal, Doris Gershuni, Francis Glass, Sadie Greenberg, Nicole Harrow, Elizabeth Hecht, Edward Heyman, Myra Holtzman, Max Eisenberg, Kathy Jacobson, Albert Katz, Leon Kirshner, William Klein, Sarah Cohn, Roger Cosberg, Raymond Lackman, Leah Lask, Carrie Levitt, Esther Levy, Florence Lewin, Stephen Litt, Sandra Lurie, Jerry Lushing, Elliot Maltzman, Justine Mandelbaum, Jack Matloff, Pauline Manine, Helen Miller, Marge Moore, Eli Persky, Charles Phillips, Saretta Portnoy, Lawrence Powell, Betty Predovich, Rona Richmond, Herta Roberts, Morris Robin, Max Rose, Jay Roth, Francoise Ruddy, Joseph Sandler, Jack Schuster, Fanny Schwartz, Irving Schwartz, Rhoda Shrelo, Marty Siegel, Parata Sarodi, Samuel Sills, Mark Silver, William Smerling, Dina Sudd, Lawrence Snyder, Betty Strauss, Lena Tabachnik, Isaac Ullman, Julia Wasserman, Samuel Weiner, Charles Wesley, Bud Yorkin. We also remember those who gave their lives defending the United States of America and the State of Israel, and those who have died in senseless violence and through disease or terrorism. We take them as our own. We also remember those who have no one to say Kaddish for them. If you would like to rise, please do so now.
Please join me in the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yomad divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam omei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha brichu. Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechemata. Damiram v'yalma v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimramav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
We're going to conclude our time this evening with a prayer for peace as we have begun the month of Elul, that we all may take on the difficult challenge to look deep within ourselves so that we can together bring the kind of world that we want to be a part of, and a world of peace. The words of Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. 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 Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom,
Shabbat
Rabbi
shalom.
Nanus. A special thanks to our behind-the-scenes communication team, our Director of Communications, Don Levy, and I think Ariel Sobel is on our Facebook chat. Perhaps Hannah might be there as well. But we wouldn't be able to do what it is that we're doing in this new virtual community without their incredible work and dedication. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Have a beautiful Shabbat.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Nice to see you.
Bye.